Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My last video was really talky, so I'm going to keep this brief. This is the second video in my April colours series. I know it's not in April, I know, but I'm running behind. And today I'm trying out gouache paints for the first time. So I still wanted to do a little bit of a voiceover, just as kind of a record of what I've learned as a first timer. But before I get into that, here's the prompt list from April Colours over on Instagram. So this week we're working to cross-complementary colours, a dappled light source and 5-minute studies. I did the last one in my sketchbook as this was my first time using gouache. I wanted to do something that was a bit longer than 5 minutes to really get a feel for it. I'll pop a clip in of what I ended up with from the 5-minute studies in my sketchbook so you can see what that looked like. I also struggled with the dappled light source. Again, this was my first time using gouache, so I wasn't really familiar with it, and I chose a reference image that was from sunset, so I thought that might come through in the colours that I was using, like that dappled light source, but it didn't quite come across, so that's something that I want to continue to work on. But overall, I was happy with the progress I made using gouache, but there were also a few things that I found a little bit tricky as a complete newbie. One, the paint dries fast. I thought I'd have more time to move it around the page than I actually did, but I did find this could be fixed fairly easily by just adding a little bit more water. Number two, adding water at the beginning is best. As I went along, I found that, like I said, the paint was drying really fast and it was sort of sticking on the page. So instead of doing what I started out doing, which was adding water as I went along, I found that it was better to put water into my palette itself, like whilst I was mixing the colours, rather than trying to add water as I went along, because it just didn't have the right consistency. And getting the right consistency before you try and pop it on the page, it flowed much better and it was easier to work with. And number three, using sellotape for my edges was a mistake. Even though I stuck it to my skin before putting it on paper, it still tore a chunk out of my page, which I did manage to salvage. You'll see at the end me trying to fix the page, but I could have done without it. So next time, washi tape is the way forward. And that's pretty much it, guys. I really enjoyed working with this medium and I was really happy with how this little guy came out. So I'll definitely be working more with these paints. I'll try and give some more tips as I learn, so hopefully that'll be useful if gouache is something that you're wanting to try out. And if you're a seasoned gouache user watching this and you have any tips for me, please leave them in the comments below. I would love to hear them. I'll let the rest of this video play out so you can see this all coming together. Thank you so much for watching and I will see you in the next one.